What's up, everyone? My name is Blue, and we are back with some more malicious compliance posts, following the rules to make people look like fools. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. And with that, let's get into it. Want me to BS a review to get more business? Have fun losing money. Several years have passed since this incident, and the people involved have either forgotten about this or don't lurk around this subreddit. Either way, names have been changed for privacy reasons. Background: I was working as a contractor for a big firm where clients go to for specific services, and then we are assigned to that company on a subcontractor basis. The firm charges the clients an arm, a leg, and a kidney or two, while paying us a tiny percentage of the sales. Business is business, and I can't complain about that. When it's time to renew the contract with the client every 3 months, we are supposed to write a review about what's going on and what should be done in the next term. Now, for the story. I worked on that project for 2 months, and I had a very good relationship with the employees and their CEO, and everything was peachy until my company wanted the client to pay double for additional services, and wanted me to write a bogus review stating that their current situation was absolute crap and they should go for the new and improved plan. Moreover, I was supposed to do it by 7 p.m., 1.5 hours away, and it was my day off. I was in the middle of a trip with friends and I said, "No can do," and hang up. It was Friday. I didn't check my emails until Monday morning. Guess who woke up to 17 emails from the company and 2 from my client? I checked the client's email first, and the CEO had personally emailed me asking what was going on and why was my company pressuring them to sign a new contract when the old one was still active. I didn't say anything and told him that I'll check it out and get back to him. Not a minute passed before I got a call from the team leader. TL: "Why didn't you write the report on Friday?" Me: "On my day off?" TL: "You should be available whenever we want you to do something." Me: "What if I was sick or in the hospital? What would you have done then?" TL: "But you were not, and we expect you to do as we say because you are bound by employee rulebook." Me: "As you may know, I'm not one of your employees, but a contractor. We have specific dates and times we work, and you can't just call me on a day off and ask me to work out of the blue. That would be against my contract with your company. By the way, since the client's current contract is still active for a month, the review has to be written after the contract ends, not before. It's even written in the contract you signed off." TL: "I don't care about semantics. Write a review by the end of the day." Me: "I'm not gonna BS the review." TL: "You have to do as we say or else you're fired." Malicious compliance time. He said I had to write the BS review, but didn't mention anything about the real review. So, I wrote the real review, and under that I wrote, "The review Mr. Blank asked me to write," and wrote the BS review. Sent it to the client and CC'd the team leader, all the other contractors, the execs, and anyone who had the faintest idea about the project. I wish I was there to see their faces when they received the email. Best part, they tried to fire me, but couldn't due to the terms of the contract. So I had no work, but full pay for 4 months. My PC was locked, so I went to the office every day, brushed up my resume, and started sending emails all day while having free coffee and tea. The client I was working for hired me the next week as a freelance consultant. So I was getting double the income, though for 4 months, and stopped going to the company altogether. The CEO was a powerful guy, and he immediately sent an email to all the businesses he knew, and no one renewed their contract, resulting a net loss of a couple million a year per company. I heard 1 or 2 companies took them to court for falsifying records, but not sure what happened to them. There's a saying, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. You can be a little greedy, but once you get way too greedy, it's gonna backfire. Want me to write an exam while I'm sick? Alrighty. High school finals 2013. I fell violently ill about 3 days before the exam started. My mother tried to get them to let me write my exams on other days, but nope. They wanted me to come in sick or not. All my friends were shocked to see me at the school with the way I looked. I looked like death, lol. Their words. So we went to write. Following happened. Teachers asked why I was there, and I told them. Coughing up phlegm. By the time exams was finished, the shopping plastic bag was full. Blowing my nose loudly. Ran to the toilet to vomit 2 or 3 times. Teachers passing me water and giving me throat sweets. They aren't allowed to. Needless to say, I barely remembered my exam. 2 of the teachers got ill and 3 students sitting around me got ill. After that, they allowed anyone who got ill to write on different days. The shopping bag thing is disgusting. That should have been red flag number 1. Send them home. Send them home. Only 1 drink allowed per visit to the bar without a tip? No problem. Some years ago, my parents and I went on holiday to Tenerife and stayed in an all-inclusive hotel in Las Americas. The reviews were somewhat mixed, but the place looked nice enough on the photos we had seen, and besides that, we were only going to be using the room to sleep in. Everything seemed okay on arrival. The next day, we visited the bar in between lounging around the pool. The bartender was friendly and had recognized he hadn't seen us before and welcomed us to the hotel. We got all of our drinks with no issue. The next time, I decided to visit the bar solo. This is where the issues began. The bartender kept tapping his tip glass whilst pouring drinks. This guy was about as subtle as a slap to the face. I had a small amount of money with me and assumed that tipping was just an expected cultural thing. Therefore, I crossed his palms with gold and that was that. Away I went with the multiple drinks I requested. Each time I visited the bar, the bartender couldn't have been nicer. Perhaps too nice. Even if there was a queue of multiple people, he would ask me what my order was before those ahead of me. And, of course, I gave him a small tip each time, too. Young and naive, I didn't think too much of it. It's worth noting that the bar was only ever staffed by this one guy on his own who seemingly never had time off. We discovered there was a rooftop terrace with a small pool and decided to spend the next day up there. This is where the fun began. There was a bar up there. However, it transpired this was paid only, and the all-inclusive wasn't allowed to be used there. This meant that anytime we wanted drinks, a 10-minute round trip was necessary to get to the ground floor, walk across to the other side of the hotel to the only all-inclusive bar. The first drinks trip of the day was made by my mother, who arrived back 10 minutes later, rather bemused with only 1 drink. "Only one drink per visit to the bar," the bartender had informed her. Knowing I'd been the only one regularly tipping, I decided to make my way back there. Multiple drinks? No issue. Also, skip the queue again. Needless to say, we found the situation both comical and infuriating. This gave my dad an idea. He went to the bar to be told again that only one drink was possible per visit. So, he did just that. Ordered one drink, walked outside, put the drink down, queued again. Rinse and repeat. The best was yet to come. We had become friendly with a few other families who we joined in the evenings for drinks. We were telling them about this, and they all too were annoyed by the same situation. After all, we're not against tipping, but not every visit when we'd all paid more for the hotel to begin with to avoid having to pay. Cue the malicious compliance. Between the families, there was approximately 10 of us. Fueled by alcohol, we came up with the ultimate power move to get back at the bartender. We waited till there was a big queue for the bar, and all got up and joined the queue. Still stood together and able to chat, this really was of no detriment to our evening. We would get a drink, go to the back of the queue, drink said drink in the queue whilst talking to our newly found friends, and continued to do so for a good hour or so. Man, this bartender was pissed. I wish I could have taken a picture of this guy's face, as his self-imposed policy bit him right on the behind. He was huffing, puffing, ranting away in Spanish, which we couldn't fully understand. But it was clear we had ruined his night. The following day, my dad visited the bar and asked for multiple drinks. The bartender simply sighed and complied. The plan had succeeded. That was a good power move, I'll give it to him. But it would have been a better one to just stare the bartender in the eyes, drink all the drink in one gulp, slam the empty glass back down, and ask for another one. It's probably a bad idea, but a good power move. And that's all the time we have for these malicious compliance stories. If you liked any of the stories, make sure to click that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future stories. Thanks for listening, everyone. Catch you later.